Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Iron and today we're going to be having a look at this, my old 2012 MacBook Air. Recently it has been running quite hot and I think there might be something up with the fan, or maybe it's full of dust, or I don't know. So I thought I'd open it up, have a look, see what we can find out. I've used this for quite a long time. Recently though, it's been used less because I do now have the M1 MacBook Air, which I use instead, which has been fantastic, and there'll be another video about that coming up soon. So what I want to do is open this one up, have a look inside, see what we've got. So I've already switched this off, just in case I do anything silly to it. So let's have a look. On the bottom we have, actually the same as on the M1 MacBooks, we have 10 screws here. So let's have a look. I've got my iFixit toolkit. I actually damaged the one I need in here, which is, where are you? The P5, this one. I don't know how much you can see, but I have actually damaged this one. So I'm going to use my replacement, which is this little screwdriver I got from Amazon, which is the same size. I'm going to open her up. The great thing about the iFixit toolkits is they have these little trays, so you can line them up and store all of the screws perfectly where you want them to go, which is fantastic. So I'll take out this here first. Very tiny screws, be careful not to lose these. Sorry about my voice, it's a bit croaky at the moment. I've just got over a bit of a cold. Got another one. So you've got 4 along the bottom here. And you've got, there we go. Now, despite these 2012 up to 2015 actually MacBook Air 11 inches all being basically the same, there are some little differences. You've got improvements in the processor, improvements in the RAM. The SSDs generally started to become a bit bigger as you moved beyond 2012. Now, one little thing, the 2 screws at the top here are about 3 times the length of the others. So be careful not to mix those up, because if you put them back in the wrong place, it just won't close. Let's see if I can get this off. These older MacBooks, generally, you don't require any, what are these, little picks or anything. Like, you can get these iFixit picks. You don't need those for this. They just pull off without any problem. I start from the back and just raise it up. Oh, there we go. I haven't opened this for about 2 years, so I don't know what this is going to be like in here. That's reasonably tidy. We have not too much dust at all. Put that to the side. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a blow. It's not too bad. Not too bad. So actually much cleaner than I expected. I thought it would be much dirtier than this. We've got our fan over here, our batteries, SSD, our little i5 processor. Yeah, I can't really see anything that would suggest as to why it's getting so hot and being so noisy. I mean, things are looking pretty good in here, really. Just see if the fan goes. Yeah, spinning fine. It doesn't look too dirty. I'm starting to think it could just be the fact it's old now and the software is pushing it a lot more than it used to do. Could possibly be the thermal paste. I may have to have a look into replacing the thermal paste. But yeah, it's looking good, it's looking clean. I thought it would be much messier than this one. That's interesting. It appears here there's a hole where you would expect there to be a screw. I don't know if you can see that here. Let me know if you think that's normal. Could that be why the fan is playing up? I did get this second-hand. This is a second-hand computer, so possibly that could be something. I don't know if you can see that well. Okay, while I'm here, I am going to have a little brush around and just kind of get rid of some of the dust. So let's crack on with that. Okay, so I've seen many people on YouTube using these little brushes that you have to purchase separately. I haven't done that. I am just going to literally use a piece of tissue, and I've got this feather duster, which is rather entertaining. But I found it does work. It picks up all the dust without too much issue, so I'm going to be using that. Just going to quickly go over and try and give it a little bit of a clean up here. There's some dust, real stubborn dust over this side. It's not, again, not as much as I expected. I expected this to be so much worse. 2012 MacBook Air. You know, we're talking more than 10 years old. It has been used. I use this for work every day for quite some time. It's done well at being rather dust resistant. See, this is picking up the dust nicely. This duster does a great job of just collecting all the excess fluff. There's a stubborn bit in there. Let's try and get that out. Go, maybe give it a little bit of a blow. Okay. I think for now that's going to do for this. I am not going to go any further into taking it apart. Maybe I can do that in another video. I'm going to put the back case back on, switch it on, and see what we've got. So again, we just take the back case. This one doesn't require any clips. You literally just plop it on the top there, line it up, and that's it. It's ready to go. So let's get the screws back. So remember, we have the two bigger screws which go at the top. I've got my P5 screwdriver again. This was from Amazon. It wasn't much. I think it was less than 1,000 yen. About $10 or so. Ooh, there we are. And one for each corner. Again, I've seen it read, and I've heard people say that when you put the screws back in on the bottom of a MacBook, you should start from opposite corners because it gets a more even balance across the bottom case. It stops the corners sticking up and things. This little 11-inch MacBook, I've never found that to be a problem. This one always seems to go back together pretty well. It doesn't really matter where I put the screws, it always just clips back and is nice and tidy. One thing I noticed was 2 years ago I last opened this up. After I opened it and then closed it again, the trackpad made a funny clicking sound. So I did have to realign the trackpad to stop that from happening. I don't know what that was about, but be careful. That could happen to you. If it does, then all you need to do is undo some of the screws on the trackpad and put them back in again, and that's going to solve the problem for me. Careful, scratch the bottom. I have a little scratch here. I don't know if you can see that scratch. That was from last time I opened it. I did slip with my screwdriver. Two left to go. Come on. Oh no, it's gone on the ground. I'll grab that in a moment. Little fiddly screws. Let's put this last one in the corner. Okay, I'll grab that one and I will come back to switching it on, see what kind of temperatures we get. Okay, so I'm using a program called Max Fan Control, which I use on all my MacBooks to tell me the fan speeds and the temperatures. Currently this little i5 MacBook is running at 70 degrees on the desktop. That's a little hotter than it used to, but it's about normal. I've been noticing it shoot up to, I mean, it's been 105, 106 degrees sometimes recently, which is way higher than it has before. I'm just going to let's just open up Safari and see what happens to the temperature. I mean, comparatively, the M1 MacBook Air, it idles under 30 degrees C. It's much better in terms of its performance efficiency. Let's just go to YouTube. Okay, we're looking at sort of 75 there. Let's open up a video.
Masterclass. You've probably heard of it. Online classes from the best in the world, teaching everything from how to run a company.
Got a video from Mark Ellis here. Let's see what happens to our temperature.
Firstly, I'm not wearing these.
Let me turn you down a bit, Mark.
And secondly, because I'm not cool, but secondly, we need to talk about the...
Again, sitting around 70 degrees, which is kind of warm really, just for watching a YouTube video. And I mean, we're looking at 480p right now. If I could push it up to 1080p, see what happens.
You do not want to see my eyes. This year, I've bought the same 12.9-inch M2 iPad Pro.
74, 76.
I do look ridiculous in these glasses. I'm not taking them off, trust me. But the first time I bought this iPad Pro...
Yeah, still a little warm, so I think I may end up having a look at the thermal paste in here. I may take it apart again, maybe take the fan out properly, give it a clean, see what happens there. Okay, I'm going to end this here for today. Thank you for watching. There will be more videos to come on this little MacBook, also on my M1 MacBook Air. I'd like to have a talk about that, as it's now just over 3 years old. I want to talk about what I think, if it's still worth it, if I have any plans to buy an upgrade or a new one. Thank you again. My name is Iron's Tech, and see you soon.